everybody. Welcome. This is HBCU Original. Hey, I'm here with my co-host, none other than JL Williams, man. What's going on, JL? How you feeling?
Man, we doing fantastic, man. Listen, I'm doing wonderfully well. I'm so glad, for this dynamite we got on the show today. I'm really excited because we're going to give the guests a real treat today in leadership. And I'm just really excited about it. So just let me loop.
But hold on, before you even get started, let me give a shout out to the conferences 100%. And we want to give a shout out to our sponsor for today.
Today's show is sponsored by Swift Pro for all your marketing needs. Want to be a sponsor? It's simple. Just email us for more info. Now back to the show.
Hey, man, we got to give a grand intro before you even do that, JL. I think I might have lost him right quick. Let's give a shout out to Virginia State.
2025 was another year of greater at Virginia State University. We ranked 11th in the country in U.S. News and World Report's 2026 rankings of the top HBCUs. We received the largest gift in our 143-year history when Mackenzie Scott awarded a $50 million gift, serving to expand our efforts to transform lives through education. We broke ground on a 454-bed state-of-the-art residence hall that will significantly expand our on-campus housing capacity. We achieved a Carnegie R2 research designation for our significant growth in research and graduate education, giving us an esteemed clarification of doctoral and professional universities with high research activity. We launched the world's first HBCU studies course in family and consumer sciences. We were named a Fulbright HBCU institutional leader, highlighting our support for global education and diversity. We opened the Alfred W. Harris Academic Commons, the largest and most transformative facility in our history, symbolizing our commitment to the greater vision of our founder. This is the Virginia State University, where greater happens here.
Oh, man, we shouting out Virginia State today. Listen, we're going to just go ahead and bring them in. None other than Zin Cambridge. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll definitely bring in back in JL in a few minutes. See, you have some signal trouble right there. But listen, man, we'll get right into it. Let's just dive right into it immediately. The people would like to know, who is Mr. Cambridge?
I am Zin Cambridge. I'm a senior political science major from Chesterfield County, Virginia. And I have the honor of serving as the 53rd Student Government Association president here at the illustrious and the best HBCU in the land, Virginia State University.
Oh, man, that is an amazing feat. And for the people that are watching who may not even understand what that means, can you explain what SGA means, what they actually do, and what you actually do?
So SGA is a Student Government Association. So we are the policy makers of campus. And we do things to make sure that campus is moving and flowing within a positive way within the students and within their policy decisions, ideas, and really just moving forward to make sure that all of our campuses are progressing. As SGA president, I not only have the honor to serve as president, but to serve as student trustee on our board of visitors, where most of the policy decisions are being made for the student body, for faculty, for the campus improvement, and things like that. And so I have the opportunity to sit and to share and express the opinions of students on that board that is appointed by our governor, and be able to make change and make sure that it happens in the best way possible.
Hey, man, you say it's a lot of things to unpack here, and dealing with, like you said, the university president on down to the regular dorm room student, the RAs, and things of that nature. I mean, tell the people, and I guess what a lot of people would like to know is, your role in conjunction with the president. Is that a sitting role for 360 days a year, or do you just come in, twice a week? How does that operate?
It's a role that's full time. It's 365. I've been working, and my administration has been working since the day that we got elected. And we have been meeting with administration. We've been meeting with our alumni leaders. We've been meeting with community leaders to really get the ball rolling for the academic semester that is going to be coming with us within the next month and a half. And it's a role that we have to remain committed to up until graduation. So it's something that I'm doing every day, that everybody on my administration is doing every day, to make sure that we are doing the best thing for our students.
Wow. I'd like to know, like, you know, is that a scholarship? You know, did they give you a scholarship for this? Or, you know, do you have to, you know, kind of like wing it through? Or I want to know, do you get paid for this thing, man?
Yeah, there's benefits to it. There's benefits to it. You get a stipend. Yeah, you get a stipend. It counts as your work study. Yeah.
Okay, so work study.
Yeah.
You said, Dale? Go ahead, Dale. What do you say?
So do you cover like the different events? Is that part of your position when they have homecoming and all those things, like they have different entertainers that come in? Is that part of your role to get that ball rolling?
A very small portion of it. We actually have a Trojan Activities Board, they've been doing a phenomenal job with our events, and they are over pretty much, I'd say, about 90% of our events. In the SGA, we have a vice president of student success and engagement, in which her role now is to coordinate, of course, with TAB, but to make events for the SGA. And so a lot of the times I'm just in the background, I might put my 2 cents there, but they're really the ones that are making sure that the student life on campus is lively.
I was just thinking, what led you up to even wanting to be the president of the SGA, man? That's not something everybody desires. That's not something everybody looks to do. I mean, and me and JL, we come across a lot of different students. This is, we don't come across too many people who are presidents of the SGA. Yeah. As a matter of fact, JL, I think we did talk to Lincoln's SGA, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, we did. We did. And let me put a caveat to what it is that you actually share, Vince. Were you SGA in high school? Was that something you did in high school, and then you sort of wanted to continue to pursue it?
So I was on student council for my first 2 years, but actually, where I live at, they have a commission that you can serve under the actual government, the local government, and I got appointed to that for 2 years, and so that kind of swayed my interest. But going point of running for SGA president, I was a student senator for 2 years. I was appointed when I first came in, and I passed the most legislation. I think I passed about 25 bills. That was more than the senator had. Yeah, more than any dedicated to the job. One of the bills that was the most effective was towards our AI innovation on campus. That's becoming a big thing. In Virginia, the state of Virginia is funding our public institutions to use AI within our coursework, within our academic advancement. And so our president at the time, Yusuf Amir, and the president who's currently at the university, Dr. Makola Abdullah, they asked that the student senate draft legislation on the student part of what we want into AI. What is the percentage that we need to use on our assignment? How should it be regulated? How should it be reprimanded if a student does not use it in the best light? And so I was the one that wrote it. The SGA president at the time, who was my mentor, he passed it and went on to the board of visitors. And it's something that is now being incorporated into the school, where now 2 public HBCUs in Virginia, Virginia State and Norfolk State, got allocated $50 million within the state towards AI.
Wow.
So the AI, I know you talk about the AI. Now, some schools have adopted it, have allowed it. What is Virginia State's stance on that? And in fact, I know you said your schools are kind of run by the state of Virginia. So is there a policy? Is there like something they put in place, for AI?
So there's a policy and there's a contract that we have to sign at the beginning of the year, basically, making sure it's credited of our work. But AI is something that is useful. We like to make sure that our work is true and authentic, but we also want to make sure that it's to the best standards of what we presented it, because sometimes the human eye cannot catch every flaw, every mistake. Even just citing something, you can get reprimanded for not having the correct source or not citing the correct source on an essay. And so having AI go into detail to review your assignment, to make sure that you are putting the correct information in it, to make sure that you're crediting the correct authors, it does help advance the students' learning, but not only it's their learning, their participation, and then the most important thing, their academic standing.
Oh, that's good stuff. So I want to, I'm listening to you, man, and you sound like you getting ready to be the president of the United States.
That's what I'm like.
Listen, I hear young Barack Obama in there.
Yeah, that's what I
man. So like, and I'm inspired. Let me say that I'm a motivational speaker, different deal, but it's I feel you. You know what I mean? Even when you speak, I just really I admire what it is you're doing, and you being able to really represent us in a major way like this. That means everything. So I want to give you your kudos and share that. But I also want to see what is the end game for you? What do you see in the future for yourself? I know you see you going deep into the political ranks. I just want to get a little bird's eye. You know what I mean? I want to hear something before you become the president of the United States. I want to hear
that. I have a dream.
I want to hear something.
Give me something.
So after I finished my degree at Virginia State in May, I hope to transition to law school. I know I'm going to transition into law school and get my Juris Doctorate. I eventually do want to go into the lawmaking process and become a legislator. That's my goal. I don't know if I have the stress capacity for president right now. That's a lot. But becoming a senator, a congressperson, as we see, they're like one of the most powerful people outside of the president.
Yeah.
Having that type of power to make positive change in my community, I think is something that inspires me. And God willing, if I have that ability and there's a calling to do that, then
that's what I'm very saying. Yeah. The calling will take you on it.
Oh yeah, and John, and then Virginia had one of the first African American governors. So I'm gonna,
governors, yeah.
So it's fairly unique that you say that. Is that one of your persons you look up to? Like who are the people that inspire you?
I look up to a lot of people. L. Douglas Wilder is his name. I look up to him. I've actually met him a couple times and had conversations with him. There's a lot of people that I look up to. I don't know if you guys mentioned before, but I interned for the first African-American speaker in the House of Delegates in 409-year history, Don Scott. And he has been such an inspirational figure in Virginia politics, and he will continue to break barriers, I know, for the years to come. But it's also my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother was one out of, I want to say, between 16 to 20 students in New Kent County in a desegregation case that actually led to the Supreme Court allowing African Americans during the time of Brown v. Board for school choice. And that was in 1968, and Brown v. Board was in 1955. So you imagine that time period. And so I look up to her a lot, and that inspiration of, persevering that challenge, going to school. She got her master's degree, raising children, still being a fierce advocate in her community, but teaching us how to love, teaching us how to lead, and teaching us how to grow in spirit and in truth.
Wow,
man, that's deep, man. That's a powerful. Beautiful. Like I said, I'm glad you have that connection with your family, and they're able to help push you forward, and make you, the leader that you should be.
No doubt.
I believe that you're going to be. Now, one of the laws I would like you to change on the VSU campus is I would like you to make a day called Bowie State Day. And with that day, we can plant a flag on the football field, or inside the gym, and or even on the track, and just let you know that we're coming for you.
Okay, I'll see if that works. I'll try to veto it as much as possible, though.
And we like to have, if you can, for another time, bring on your vice president as well. And some of your board members as well. How many members are actually in the actual SGA?
We have 18.
18.
We have
Wow.
7 that are
Wow.
on the elected board, and we actually are adding a additional one. There'll be a chief justice. We'll go into elections for that position next year, starting next year. And then we have the additional 10 who serve as representatives. We've actually added 2 new positions, community service director, which that explains that in the title as much. And then we have another one, which I think is very important for HBCUs, director of civic and external governmental affairs. And so they are focusing on all things outside government, all things that are affecting the university on the outside. So one of the most important things that we're focusing on from now until November is voting. That is crucial. Just to give you a little spiel, Virginia State has had a rough time with voting, and in terms of students, they come from out of state and they do, the non-traditional ballot. They don't fill out the correct information, or they're purposely not given the correct information, and it deters their vote. And so last year we did a hard-fought campaign on making sure that we were educating students, but we were giving them the correct information. And we saw within Virginia State and at Norfolk State, we had 105% increase of student voter turnout at our campus precincts, which is phenomenal because we had it higher than any white public institution in the Commonwealth. And so we're just continuing on that vision. We have a U.S. Senate election, but we also have 2 constitutional amendments that are really going to set the ball forward in terms of the progress that we, have in Virginia, but that the rights that students have here on campus. And so continuing to educate them is going to be a good thing, but also making sure that they're connecting with their local leaders from city council, county government, all the way up to the U.S. Senate, and making sure that they have those types of interactions to ensure that their voice is heard.
Yeah. I think that's so important, man, that we keep that on the main line. And, it's real vital at this particular point that we get out and vote. And make our voices heard, and I'm so glad that you champion that whole process. That's really amazing, man.
And I want to piggyback too, John, what you just said as far as the champion part. And if you want to, you can bring that right on here to the platform. We have 2 platforms as well. We have Runway to Purpose with JL, who's speaking now, and also the HBCU. You can bring that back on here and encourage people to vote. That's critical. And JL, what were you finishing up? What were you saying?
No, I was just sort of emphasizing the importance of that, and I'm so glad that's on the front burner of where he is and where we need to be as a country, and particularly as African Americans. We need to be on the forefront of that because it means everything at this point.
JL, the state of our young people, we deal with a lot of young people off and on campuses and things of that nature. Zin, what is your focus on trying to change the mindset of some of our youth? A lot of our youth are really struggling at where they're at, where they really are at. And I think it's like a self-denial almost. Like, do they really see how they are, affecting society? Do they really see? Are you seeing your young people struggle in that aspect? Because you are the future. Yeah, this is your generation.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I feel like it's meeting people where they're at. Is that what we've been seeing? And even like campaigning with people, campaigning for my election or just doing basic things, trying to get students to make change, you have to really explain to them why they are important or why stuff is such significant. And I feel like for us as leaders who are, have a plan, we have to continue to do that. And I feel like the further that you explain, the further that they will understand. And sadly, sometimes, students have to see the impact of not making that decision or not doing the correct thing for them to learn. I mean, we all can admit it that we all have had that lesson to teach us, how to learn. And so I think for us, it's just getting to meet them where they are and not have us meet us where we're at.
Yeah, that's good. And I think good to continue to educate them and encourage them to want to know more and to get educated about the impact and the power of their decision.
Yeah.
Understanding that they have the power of the vote in their hand, and it means a lot. And I think having those kinds of events that sort of encourage them and bring knowledge to why it's so important. And then being able to reach back and talk about our history and then look at where we're going. We don't want to repeat certain things. Certain things we want to make sure that are right and equal where we're concerned. And we understand that it's so uneven at this particular point. And so their vote means everything. And so we got to continue to educate our young people because, you know, they seem to at times just not even be thinking about it. And they sort of don't even put themselves in that conversation. And that worries me. It really does.
It's a danger, JL. And that's why I actually mentioned that, because ask about, you know, do they understand where they're at, what's going on? Because, you know, and they don't know their history at all.
No.
They think that, you know, this is their culture. This is not our culture. We come from a long legacy of leadership, engineers, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurship, a wealth of art. We come from a long strand, you know, and some of them don't even know who our ancestors are.
Yeah,
they really don't. So you have to look back at history to help you move forward.
Yeah,
that's just the way it goes.
Yeah,
you know, because you can't go into the new era blind. And I'm afraid that these young people within the era that we're in, they are moving forward blind. So we got to draw them back, encourage them, and teach our history.
Yeah,
and then definitely, Zin, you've been on campus. I mean, does Virginia, try to promote the history and instill that within the students?
Yeah, most definitely. There's so many opportunities, and just being on the campus of Virginia State itself is filled with so much history. The cities surrounding it, Petersburg, Virginia, and the town incorporated around it, which was built and meant for African Americans, Ettrick, Virginia, has so much history surrounding it. And it takes you taking that step forward to look for it and to educate yourself on it. Because a lot of the times they're going to hide it from you. And, you mentioned that before, that we have to continue to educate ourselves. We can't let other people try to spoon feed us. And there's, so much history that surrounds the campus that I believe could, continue to motivate and push students. And we have to be the ones, like you said, to advocate, to show it, to teach it, and to share it, to make sure that we make the world into a better place.
No doubt. So Zin, I want to take you back for a second, because I understand that we're only as strong as the people that help to raise us and who exposed us to various things. I wanted to ask you, because I ask this often to a lot of young leaders, was your father in your life?
Yeah, he was for a little bit, and he went overseas. He worked for the military, went overseas, and then he came back right before COVID, and actually he had gotten sick. He had a stroke, and that progressed severely. He had multiple others, and he passed. And so throughout the latter years of his life, and actually through my first year in school, I was taking care of him. So the roles had kind of shifted from him taking care of me to me helping my mother out and being his caretaker, taking him to appointments. Even with the strokes, it didn't stop him from living life, taking him to his friend's house to go and have fun, things like that. But it was kind of like a second job almost.
Sure.
And I would say within those past couple of years, it wasn't the normal him. Of course, it wasn't the normal him. And so a lot of the things, I had to learn, sadly, by myself, because he wasn't in the right headspace due to his health. And then, even now, after his passing, is still learning so many different things about myself.
Sure.
I have two younger brothers, and so they're, one is going into adulthood, the other one is going into preteen, teenage years. And so, trying to lead them the right way without bursting their bubble, but, also, just trying to figure out what the right thing is for them. Yeah.
Sure. And I understand.
Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, Dale.
I understand even more of why your mom made the decision that she made and not having you pursue football. Because you being who you are and who you will become meant so much more to her than you going to play a sport, because she probably, and I know she understands how the impact that you're going to make in this world. And so I think that was probably her worldview. And so that's why I sort of asked that question, because a lot of times people don't revisit those moments and really see the significance of why certain things happened the way they did. And you got a taste of real life early, and it was sort of thrusted on you. You didn't ask for it. It was something that you responded to because it was dad, and he needed his son. And that grew you up in so many different areas, and it matured you in so many different areas. And then then the significance of who you are today, that played a major role in that. And I'm just hearing it, and I'm just feeling that, man.
That's why I wanted to ask her, man.
Vince, I had to go there because I felt that. I felt something. And when I get that leading of that feeling, I want to be able to pursue it. So I want to say thank you for for going with me on that. That was good. That was real good. Thank you, Zin. I appreciate you.
Hey, Zin, do your friends know who you really are? Do they know your story?
Yeah, most of them know my story. And they know where I came from. You have two different sides of Zin. You have President and then you have Zin.
Okay. I mean, your boys know Zin. Do they know the power in your story and how they can learn from you? I mean, do you see that? Are you cutting your eye and notice people check you out or getting inspired by you? I mean,
I see it a lot, in my story in terms of leadership, but also, going back to the whole history in your family, because that's really important to me, is my family, but the history in which I come from. Yeah. And so a lot of the times when I talk about that, and when we're in certain settings, whether it's traveling to different parts of Virginia where my family might be from, or, saying, this was this, it kind of incites them to look forward, but to see who they come from and who they are. And it's kind of like a powerful thing to them to keep them moving forward, because that's what I look at in myself every single day. I look at where I come from. I'm my mother and my father's son, but generations before me, you have to look back and see how far those ancestors came to sacrifice for you.
That's why I asked you that question. I asked that question because sometimes I wonder, do people really know themselves? Do they see the power in themselves? You already see that vision. You already see the leadership skills you have. Some people don't, but others see it in them. So I wonder, do you encourage your friends to say, listen, look within yourself, to bring out the best, in you? I mean, we all have talents and we all have gifts. And me and JL, we always talk about, our God-given gifts. I wonder, and sometimes it takes a person like you, say, yo, smack them upside the head. Listen, you got a gift, you got a skill. Let's move.
Yeah. It's that. I mean, so many times I can't even count on my hand, like you said, just slapping somebody in the shape and being
got you, man. Sometimes
you have something that you can use, that you can use to move forward in your life. And we see that so many times. I mean, just in leadership. I'll speak, for example, when we were running on the ticket, I ran with 5 people. That's the first time that has happened in campus history. I won't say personally who it was, but there was 2 people that were not going to run. It was actually 3 people that weren't going to run because they were afraid that they were going to lose because they had lost before. or they were afraid about what people had said about them. And I had to look, and I said, this is a different time. This is a different period. You gain more experience, you've gained more skill, you've gained more connection, and now you're ready to serve and lead. Because that time may have not been for you, but we see that now the time is open, not just for you, but for us. And you need to take that chance and go with it. And, that was really, one of the moments where they did it. And when they got to success, when the, results were announced, it's just like, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for doing that. Because
man, listen, I'm glad you said that, man, because I look back on the moments, like even with JL, man, and this, it's funny, man, coming from, dancing on tabletops and acting the fool on the campus, man, to becoming a great leader as he is, yeah, I mean, listen, he had to pass. Everybody got to pass now. Yeah. But now, seriously though, JL.
Don't miss them.
Hey, but JL coming from basketball, traveling overseas and things of that nature, and coming back really honing his skill. Someone had to believe in him as well, and he had, it's the same thing. I see in him is what I see in you, and so. It takes somebody like I'm that person that's gonna smack JL in the head. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it moving. So, and who's that person for you to say, hey, Zin, keep you on the float?
It's two people. It's two people. It's my roommate, who is my VP of Academic Affairs, Cordell. And then it's one of my best friends who we served in the Senate together, Antoine. And it's just kind of them. I mean, from everything that I went through campaigning, through loss of my father, it's just kind of, get you right back into shape. You got to do this. Don't be doubtful, because there's moments, even though where people are powerful and strong, or they have this position, they have this. There's still moments where we have that doubt, where we have that anxiety. I mean, there's so many times where I go into different situations and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. But when you have that, especially that type of support system around you, and knowing them for the past 2 years, and of course there's other people, but having those two around me, especially during the campaign, to lead and to guide, and now through this new chapter of my life and this new position, it's been so helpful.
And you know what? I know they can see it. I just feel it. I know they can see who you are, where God has positioned you, in the great potential that they want to see realized in your life. And so that's amazing to have that. The Bible says there is a friend that stick closer than a brother. Yeah. And so that's important for us to have those brothers around us that keep us on the straight and narrow, like this brother here, Vince. Oh man, listen, hey, Zin, I bet not turn down and speak it again, and let him hear about it, man. Listen, oh my God, and so that's why this whole runway to purpose for us and for me is so significant, because it gives a person the opportunity to really see what God has for them, and for them to sort of take that leap of faith and begin to figure out what it is. You know what I mean? Helping them to see it clearly so they can change it effectively. And so when they're on that plane, being able to do that really helps them to see with each challenge that is before them, that they have what it takes in order for them to be successful and begin to eventually take flight. Because before you take flight, you got to do your work, and you got to get on this runway and make it happen, man. Yeah. And so in us doing that and being able to play that role in their life, they actually see things unfolding right before them, but they understand they have to put the work in order for that dream or that vision to be realized.
Yeah. And that's what we get to next, man, the work. Now, you just said the new chapter in your life. Tell us about the work on campus for Virginia State this upcoming school year. Tell us what's going on at Virginia State's campus. What's happening?
There's so much growth that is happening on campus. I mean, it's crazy. You go on 1 week and something's changed, something's brand new. I'll first go into the institutional growth, because I feel like that's the thing that is being publicized the most. Of course, like you saw in the video before, we just opened up one of our largest buildings on campus, which is the Alfred Harris Academic Commons, which not only supports the needs of the students, but the faculty and staff. It has a gym, a pool, indoor track, black box theater. We're getting ready to open up our brand new admissions building in the fall, which will support all new incoming families and freshmen that are getting ready to come in. We just opened up a 400 plus bedroom dorm that will continue to support our freshmen. And the further advancement of what is continuing to happen on campus, it's growing and growing and growing. And we're seeing the renovation of our old dorms and old buildings, which is, something that you don't really see on historically Black colleges. And so the institutional advancement has been good. We just had our 10-year scholarship gala to celebrate our 14th president, President Abdullah, again, on his 10 years of service. And we raised a lot of money. We're still raising more money. Class of 1976, I believe, I went to their alumni breakfast. They raised about $400,000. And that's just from one class. God telling what the other classes are raising to continue to support the institutional advancement of Virginia State. And so Virginia State is growing well, not only financially, but also within its own resources. Like I mentioned before, with the AI academic innovation, our agriculture program, we're a land grant school, and we're only one out of two, which is Virginia Tech, which is the other one. And we're seeing so much growth, under our dean. It's just so much going on within that realm. But also one of the things that we're trying to focus on is student SGA community engagement. That's what we're looking for. We're looking, like you said, how can we meet students where they're at to make sure that their term here at Virginia State is successful. And so we're looking at new ways to collaborate with them and to connect with them, whether it's just going in on a Saturday morning and doing a dorm storm and collecting trash and talking to individuals, going to the cafeteria and serving food to students, and asking them how their day is. Because I notice when you have that type of personal connection with somebody, they actually feel seen, they actually feel heard. And with any issue that they come to, it's not just washed under, it's not just put on social media. They come to you, to the responsible person, so that you can solve it. And so that is one thing that we are pushing and that we are advocating for. And of course, I think everybody knows that there's lack of funding within the federal government in terms of supporting our historically Black colleges. And so, of course, we're making sure that students are paying attention to that, because that affects their aid, that affects so many grants, scholarships that they're given. And so, again, going back into the institutional advancement, but that community portion, bringing in donors who can continue to support the university and support the good work of the students. There's so much greater things that are happening on campus, whether it's from our music department, which has just been astounding. I know you guys see Trojan Explosion, but people don't even see the inside.
I gotta give a shout out to you. I gotta give a shout out to your music department. Hold on, man.
Yeah, the music.
You see right there?
Yeah, the music department is amazing, and not even just a Trojan Explosion. Y'all have to go look at the symphonic band and look at the pieces that they are playing. That's like level 10.
And in fact, we just had when I believe, as a matter of fact, a couple of your students will be at the what is the gospel award show coming up? The Stellar Award, I believe it is.
Yep,
they got invited to. So along. As a matter of fact, Ronald, I believe Ronald, we had him on before, who was the Sam tenor, the tenor from Morgan State. As well, I think Virginia State, they had like a summertime thing this year, actually, where they went out and they did songs and stuff like that together, or traveled all over. So,
it's like you mentioned, the gospel chorale, the concert choir, our football team, our soccer team just won 2 national titles, and that's the first, and they're brand new. They're brand spanking new.
Wait, let me stop you right there. You said the football team.
Football team is good. We're good.
Hey, listen, man. Virginia State sports and good it's not even the same breath. Let's just stop right there, man.
But look, our soccer team, our women's soccer team, they got 2 national titles.
Yeah, they did.
You know, we brought the Black College Invitational Championship back under the leadership of Dr. Wes Bellamy, who brought it to Virginia State. We're seeing the innovation within our engineering department, where they just got a huge lump sum of money from Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan to continue to support their program. So much greater is happening on here. But we just want to make sure that we're addressing the issues and concerns. You know, a lot of students have issues with scholarship. And so, like I said, you know, bringing those outside donors in, continuing to get that institutional support from alumni is one of the biggest things that we're focusing on. But actually, another thing, too, is training our students how to give to the university when they graduate. Because a lot of people compare historically Black colleges to PWIs or to minority serving institutions, and they say, well, oh, they have all this money. And I'm like, a lot of the times they have a lot of students to use all that money, but when you compare the resources to the students, it's allocated the same way. But one thing that they're very successful at is their alumni give. And we have to teach our students, we have to teach even our alumni to practice giving and to give in proportion for the advancement of our institution. And we've been seeing that, you know, I said with the class of 1976, hopefully with class of 2026, they'll give double of what they gave in the coming years. And so it's just been very exciting, and focusing on those issues, I know, will help continue to improve the student body, but having that support and having those resources come in. You know, we have a very good state government that continues to support Virginia State University. We have a governor who who did the commencement speech, who on her first trip outside of the governor's mansion, her first stop was Virginia State. And so she remains committed to advancing our institution. To the Speaker of the House, who remains committed to advancing historically Black colleges, because he knows that they are pouring in to our communities in the Commonwealth. And so it's very exciting to be a part of this great progression. And we'll just continue to see the great work that happens here.
Man, listen, if you need anything, an outlet, you let us know. If you want to come on and speak about something, we 100% want you guys to come out, because we 100% believe in all our HBCUs, the advancement. We definitely have people like yourself, great leadership. And I believe that Virginia State is going to do great things. Oh, yeah. JL, you got anything else?
Hey, man, I'm so proud of you, Zin. Please continue to keep that zeal, that fire. And man, just continue to make us proud, brother, because we counting on you, brother. We counting on you, and we know you have it in you to really make this happen and to pull this off, man. So continue in that, and you know, let God be your source, and making that happen. You know, listen, I always say, work like it depends on you, but pray like it depends on God.
Yep.
Hey, you know, if you have anything that you might want to, you know, tell potential students, or you have any announcements you'd like to make for Virginia State?
Greater happens here. And, you know, I think one of the biggest things is we just had our Trojan introduction program happening within this week and last week, which is introducing the new freshmen, is you are what you make college. You are what you make college. And what you make out of college can determine your future. Yes. So make sure that you do what is in your best interest. Yeah. That's what I would give to anybody, freshman or even a senior, you know, to continue to do what's in your best interest, because at the end of the day, your hard work pays off. They say, let the work that I've done speak for me. I think that work will speak for you at the end of the day.
Amen.
Oh, man. Hey, Zin, man. Listen, this has been inspiration, man. We thank you for coming on. We definitely want to have you come back on again very, very soon, because we need to know some updates about the campus. We're going to be traveling on down to a few other schools as well. We want to come to your school if we can.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all are welcome.
Sit down and do a live thing down there, man.
Yeah,
you know, get the feel. I've been on campus, man. You know, last time I've been at Virginia State, it was when Dye's Effect was on campus, man.
Yeah, it's been a long. The whole campus has changed. When you go in there, you wouldn't recognize it.
John, they was on campus. They was, you know, a lot of people don't know they went there. They went to Virginia State, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah, hip hop duo. and it's interesting though. But listen, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. We definitely want to have you back. Just hold tight, and I'll be talking about a few other things. All right, JL, man, that was a great interview, man. Listen, we applaud him. We definitely gonna bring him back on. We want to, and first, before we even get started, let us shout out for JL for his podcast as well. Yeah, and so JL, his podcast will be featuring coming up soon. He has also a book coming out. JL, when is this book dropping for the people?
Man, the book will be ready in the September. We're looking at September to release it. We already have organizations that are lining up to purchase it and being able to put it into play in various schools across Delaware. So we're really excited about that. And we're excited about being able to go abroad in different colleges. One of our books, Runway to Purpose, just helping people to really take that first step and make some things happen and build the momentum and the character and the confidence in order to become the person that God is wanting them to become in this season in their life. And then we have Pathway to Purpose for our older population. And so really helping them to figure things out once they sort of have identified what their purpose is. Now it's time to walk in it and make some vital choices so they can now be who they need to be in this world. So we're really excited about that and making that happen. So I'm looking forward to going on all the campuses and really sharing that. And I think we're gonna have a good time doing that as well. So yeah, so September.
Listen, we can't wait, man, till that comes out. And also, listen, if you'd like to support Virginia State University, please, we're gonna have that inside the comments as well. Donate to the SGA, donate to the school. Listen, any HBCU, donate to. We need money right now. We need help right now. We need your support.
Yes.
And that's it for today, man. And we out.